Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons for another by request song tutorial. In today's lesson, I'm going to be breaking down the Beatles' 1969 classic, Across the Universe, from the album Let It Be. I'm going to take you through that iconic intro, and also the chord progressions and little guitar tricks that you can use throughout the verse and chorus sections. As usual, I have all the tabs available for you at patreon.com/swiftlessons, where for just $1 a month, you can gain access to a ton of extra resources. If you have a song that you would like for me to teach next, click through the link in the description to swiftlessons.com and put in your request now. Okay, let's get started with your lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass and slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind, possessing and caressing me. Jagaru Nothing's gonna change my world. Nothing's gonna change my world. Images of broken light which dance before me like a million eyes. They call me on and on across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Jagaru Deva. Oh, nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Sounds of laughter, shades of earth are ringing through my open ears, inciting and inviting me. Limitless, undying love which shines around me like a million suns and calls me on and on across the universe. Jagaru Deva. Oh, nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Jagaru Deva. Jagaru Deva. Jagaru Deva. Jagaru Deva.
Okay, a close look at the fretboard and also my pick in hand. We're getting started with the intro section. Real slow, it's gonna sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that began with our middle finger and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the G and high E strings. With the right hand, you want to pluck those together. Pick on the G string and middle finger on the high E string. It's called hybrid picking. Then you're going to play the open D string. Next, we're going to slide up to the 11th fret of the G string and the high E string 10th fret. Okay, good place to slide from would be the G position. That's the 3rd fret of the high E string and that middle finger on the G string 4th fret. Okay, because all those notes are in this key of D. Okay, so far we have. Next I'm going to play 9 and 9 on the same strings, 7 and 7. Then I'm going to take a little piece of an A chord. The G string 6th fret, the high E string 5th fret. So far you have. Alright, then grab the 7th fret of the B string with the ring finger. Okay, I plucked that with my middle finger on my right hand, but it could have been my pick. Alright, next we're going to be strumming. Go into an F sharp minor bar chord. Okay, this position we're barring the 2nd fret, G, B, and high E string, and my ring finger is on the D string 4th fret. I'm going to play. Okay, so that was just the F sharp minor chord, then add in the pinky to the 4th fret of the G string. Just like that. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then apply that same little trick to the A bar chord. Okay, so this is just a regular A shape, but it's in the open position. We're barring from the 2nd fret of the D string to the high E string, but the high E string can be muted. We're not going to use it. Okay, so this is going to sound like this. Okay, so we're just bouncing back and forth between that A shape and add in the 4th fret of the G string again. F sharp minor, the A. And that gets us right into the verse. Let's put the whole thing together now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes that A major. And a D chord will get us into the verse. You ready to move on? Okay, now moving on to the verse section. Here we're going to learn the chords that we're going to be using throughout the entire song, and also the strumming varieties that we can use as well. I'm going to be referencing my chord sheet, which you could find at patreon.com/swiftlessons for easier learning. Okay, so this starts off with a D major chord. We're going to need that for 2 beats. Following that, we'll have the B minor chord, barring that 2nd fret, setting up that little minor shape there. And we'll need that for 2 beats as well. Following that, we'll have an F sharp minor chord. Okay, this is going to be a full bar, barring the entire 2nd fret, then setting up the ring finger and pinky on the 4th frets of the A and D string. Okay, remember to press your chest into the guitar, lower your thumbs, that way you can get a nice, clean sounding bar chord. Alright, so that D chord. Words are flowing, B minor, out like endless, F sharp minor. Rain into a paper cup. Okay, now let's get our strumming down. For the most part, he's just strumming downstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that. Occasionally there might be a little bit of a gallop. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Aside from a couple of riffs that we'll have in the chorus section, that's going to sum up the strumming for the entire tune. If you apply it to that first line of our chord sheet on the verse, it sounds like this. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. Okay. Alright, the next line that we have will be E minor 7 for 4 beats. They slither while they pass and slip, oh. Okay, so that's just E minor with the pinky on the 3rd fret, B string. Then go to the A major chord, barring, way across the universe. That part's a little weird. The A chord was only there for 3 beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and then add in the 7th. That's putting your middle finger on the high E string, 3rd fret. And you gotta strum just for 2 beats, 1 and 2 and 4 short little strokes. Okay, so lines 1 and 2.
Words are flowing out like endless rain unto a paper cup.
E minor 7.
Slither while they pass and slip.
The A chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4 little strums. Okay, we got to repeat that first chord progression again.
Pools of song, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind.
Then we're going to complete this first verse with a very nice little chord change. E minor 7 for 2 beats. All right, this is your bottom line of verse 1.
Possessing and caressing me.
A G minor chord for 4 beats. It's the same shape we had before, but upper fret. Bar in the 3rd fret, then putting the ring and pinky on the 5th frets of the A and D string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, one of the things I like to do, just to add a little bit of dynamics to this, is I'll start off strumming nice and quiet. Then I'll get progressively louder as I go through those beats. All right, now let's move on to chorus number 1. Okay, moving into the chorus section. This is going to begin with 8 beats of D major, just kind of trucking along the same way we've been.
Jagaru Deva.
Then when you get to the word Om, we're going to throw in a nice little riff that kind of pulls from some of the other instrumentation that you'll hear on various versions of the song. It sounds very familiar. It sounds like this. Something along those lines. So, real slow, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right, so that was just me taking my ring finger on and off. Then back on, and put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string to grab that melody. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then take your 2 fingers here and put them up onto the 5th frets of the D and B string.
Nothing's gonna change my...
All right, so that was the 5th frets, D and B. Then the 4th fret of the D and the 3rd fret of the B. Then we're gonna go back to that 5th fret position. Then glide on down to the 2nd frets to continue out that A7 chord. All right, so when you get to this 5th fret, start singing.
Nothing's gonna...
And on change, drop down.
Change my...
And when you get back to the word world, we're going to strum the A7 chord.
World.
All right, that's what we're gonna do for that first A7. Then the G chord comes in.
Nothing's gonna change my...
4 beats of G and back to D chord for 4 beats.
World.
A plain old A7 chord.
Nothing's gonna change my world.
Sometimes I like to bounce that ring finger back on and off again before going back to the G chord for 4 beats.
Nothing's gonna change my...
And back to D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, to complete your chorus. Okay, fantastic. Now you have your 3 main sections: the intro, the verse, and the chorus. You basically have the song down, but there's just a little bit of variety to the way he sets up his verses. So, verse number 2 is basically going to be the 2nd progression from verse 1 twice. The D major chord comes in,
images, B minor, broken light,
F sharp minor,
before me like a million.
Then the E minor 7 chord,
eyes they call me on and on.
That barred version of the A major chord in the open position,
across the una.
Then 4 strums of that A7 chord. You need to do that twice.
Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letter.
E minor 7,
they tumble blindly,
gallop along with your strumming. The A, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that time it's that chord that's going to get you into the second chorus, which is exactly the same as the first chorus. All right, after that we're going to have verse number 3. This one is going to start off with the second progression from verse 1. Okay, so he's moving things around in a very interesting way. So, verse number 3, D major chord. Sounds of laughter, B minor, shades of earth, F sharp minor, ringing through my open ears. And if you know the song, you can kind of guess how this is going to go. E minor 7, inciting and inviting me. That G minor chord for 4 beats. All right, next we're going to go back to that progression that ends with A7. Starts with D. Limitless, undying love, which shines around me like a million. E minor 7. Suns and calls me on and on. And the A chord for 3 beats. Across the universe. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 4 short strums on A7. That gets you into chorus number 3, which is exactly the same as all the rest of the choruses. Now, you only need to know the outro. Basically, just hold and strum a D major chord. Jagaru Deva, Jagaru Deva. I like to do that 4 times, but in the original track, it fades out. Okay, that's basically the entire song. As you can see, it's basically a lot of repetition, just slight adjustments to that repetition for the verses. Congratulations, everybody. You're ready to perform. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for checking out this lesson on the Beatles Across the Universe. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much to everyone who has put in a request at Swiftlessons.com. I really appreciate the guidance. Also, I want to thank my patrons at patreon.com/swiftlessons. I hope you're enjoying the extra resources. I got many more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.